Hello my dear learners, welcome to my video lesson. The subject of today's lesson is Science is a Body of Knowledge, and it is one of the introductory lessons of the subject Fundamentals of Research Work. As you know, every field of research is a fruitful way to enriching science. And today's video we will confirm on three plans. The first one is science is a body of knowledge. The second is groups or field of sciences, and what are goals and objectives of science. So here I want to mention about Albert Einstein's famous quote: "The important thing is never to stop questioning." As we know, every research work's initial step is to ask a question and to put a problem forward to conduct your research work. Science can help us to understand ourselves and our world, to recognize how it works and where we fit within it. That's why science is important to be studied. So the next slide is about the keywords and expressions of today's lecture. And here we can see the keywords: science, body of knowledge, systematic approach, logical approach, demonstrable data, reproducible data, scientific process, natural science, social science, formal science, human endeavor, applied science, double helix, consciousness and consideration of study. And here you can see the list of recommended literature that you can rely on in order to find some extra information about today's theme. Here you can see Sadiqa's image associated, or you can find some other practical methodological books, manuals that are very useful in order to broaden your worldview about today's theme. The next one, what is science? Science is a systematic and logical approach to discovering how things in the universe work. It is also the body of knowledge accumulated through the discoveries about all the things in the universe. Even a little child can search for new things every day, every minute, every second of his or her life. When you hear the word science, what do you think of? Lab coats, test tubes, telescopes, and stars, Einstein, dog-eared textbooks. While these represent various aspects of science, none of these truly embodies science as a whole, because as a field it is so multifaceted. It means it has very different peculiarities. Science can be thought of both a body of knowledge, it means the things we have already discovered, and the process of acquiring new knowledge. Through observation, experimentation, it can be testing, hypothesizing. Both knowledge and process are independent, since the knowledge acquired depends on the questions asked and the methods used to find the answers. So, what is science? If we just pay attention to the derivation of this word, the word science is derived from the Latin word scientia, which is knowledge based on demonstrable and reproducible data, and this definition is given from Merriam-Webster Dictionary. True to this definition, science aims for measurable results through testing analysis. Every knowledge should be reproducible. It means every scientist who wants to add something can continue this field. Science is based on fact, not opinion or references or preferences. The process of science is designated to challenge ideas through research. It means every research depends on thorough foundation of the field. One important aspect of the scientific process is that it focuses only on the natural world. According to the University of California. Anything that is considered supernatural does not fit into the definition of science. It means, as we mentioned above, science depends on facts, not opinions or preferences. You have to justify your theories, your hypotheses. You should conduct some experiments, and all this is, relies on the main scientific basis or scientific resources. The word science probably brings to mind many different pictures: a fat textbook, white lab coats, or microscopes, an astronomer peering through the telescope, a naturalist in the rainforest, or Einstein's equations scribbled on a chalkboard, and the launch of the space shuttle or bubbling beakers. All of those images reflect some aspect of science, but none of them provides a full picture because science has many facets, and in order to imagine it fully, you have to choose one field of science, because every science is its own field, its own direction, and every facet fulfills its meaning. The next one, facets of science. We have a lot of facets of science, but here we just mention about 5 of them. So the first one is, science is both a body of knowledge and a process. In school, science may sometimes seem like a collection of isolated and static facets listed in a textbook, but facts, that's only a small part of the story. Just as importantly, science is also a process of discovery that allows us to link isolated facts into coherent and comprehensive understanding of the natural world. So the second one is, science is exciting. As it gives a meaning, science is a way of discovering what is in the universe, how those things work today, how they worked in the past, and how they will likely to work in the future. Scientists are motivated by the thrill of seeing or figuring out something that no one has before. And day by day, every scientist tries to discover something that is exciting and useful in the for the population's sake, and these discoveries are exciting as this helps to improve the living standard of the population. The third one is, science is useful. The knowledge generated by science is powerful and reliable. It can be used and to develop new technologies, treat disease, and deal with many other sorts of problems. The usefulness of the science can be seen mostly in every field of studies. For example, in medicine, recently just the world came across with a given problem like pandemic of COVID-19, and many scientists in the field of medicine, they have discovered useful vaccines, useful medicines, or way of treating this disease, and this is one of the bright examples of this facet. The next one is, science is ongoing. Science is continually refining, expanding our knowledge of the universe. And as it does, it leads to new questions for future investigation, as science will never be finished. As we continue our example, on the planet we just came across with different disease, and this kind of pandemics will help us to continue and to improve the methods of treatment or relying on the facts. The next one is, science is a global human endeavor. So what is endeavor? It is like a contribution to some kind of studies or field of studies. People all over the world participate in the process of science, and you can too, by the way. And every scientist or every can add his own or her own way of enriching science. As we speak about the field of science, it is often grouped into the following groups. The first one is natural science. As we know, natural science is relied on the life or biological science, the study of living organisms, and physical science, the study of material universe, including physics, chemistry, space science, and etc. Social science, the study of society and people, such as anthropology, psychology, pedagogy, and so on. Formal science, the study of logic and mathematics. Applied science, disciplines that rely on science and use of exciting scientific knowledge to develop new applications, such as engineering, robotics, agriculture, and medicine. Natural science and social science. If we speak about these two fields, we can say that both natural science and social science are known as empirical science. It means that any theories must be based on observation or observable phenomena, reproducibility of results, and peer review. As we mentioned in our previous lectures, science is based on reproducibility of your theory, or one scientist can continue the former scientist in order to enrich and give some new knowledge about this field. And the most interesting thing about science is that it's never finished. Every discovery leads to more questions, new mysteries, to something else that needs explaining. It's a case of the more we know, and the more nothing knowing about this field. The next one is, for example, for this theory, we can give the discovery of the double helix structure of DNA, revolutionized our understanding of biology, are bringing whole new areas to be studied, such as genetic modification and synthetic biology. And here you can see once more, we just mentioned about the Albert Einstein's famous quote: the most important thing is never to stop questioning. The next one, science can help us to understand ourselves first of all and our world, and to recognize how it works, where we fit within it. There will always be questions to be answered. What happens after we die? What causes us to dream? What is consciousness? It is this research, for example, humanity's innate curiosity and drive to know why that push scientific discovery forward. And it is possible science may one day find the answers, but if not, it will not be for lack of trying. So what are goals and objectives? If we speak about the goals, so goals are generally guidelines that explain what you want to achieve in your community. They are usually long-term and represent global visions such as protect public health and safety. In our case, if we speak about public health, in the 21st century, people just came across with different disease, and as we have a lot of this kind of research, they will just enrich. And this point is the goal of our science. So objectives define strategies or implementation steps to attain the identified goals. Unlike goals, objectives are specific, measurable, and have a defined completion of date. They are more specific and outline the who, what, when, where, and how of reaching the goals. So the next one is scientific literature if we speak about this point, the central point of this is to the development of science as a whole. This explains what scientists mean when they refer to the scientific literature and offers specific examples of how scientists use it to first discover what other work has been done on a topic. The second, what was cited as cite sources of their data, and to show how their interpretations relate to existing knowledge. So, the scientific literature provides an archive of research which scientists make use of throughout the process of investigation. Scientists reference the literature to indicate what other work has been done on a research topic, to cite sources of data that they use, and to show how their interpretation integrate with the public knowledge base of science. New research questions can be investigated by reanalyzing or compiling data from the literature. While individual scientists can make errors, the knowledge base of science, as reflected in the scientific literature, is self-correcting as new studies and new interpretations come to light. It means one study, one new theory can enrich, can recorrect one point that was studied before. So here you can see some useful online source in YouTube, and you can find some profitable and very useful facts or knowledge about today's given topic. And see you in our next video lessons. Thank you.